It's another swing and a miss for the UFL, the semi-professional football league that no one asked for but continues to be presented and rejected. How many times are we going to do this? How many times are we going to try this failed experiment? They tried this in the 1980s with the USFL. Failure. 20 years later, Vince McMahon tried it with the XFL, a football league that was heavy on the gimmicks and light on the actual talent. Failure. 20 years later, Vince McMahon tries the XFL again. Failure. Then a couple of years later, they decided that one failed spring football league just wasn't enough. They decided that the reason spring football has never worked here in America is because there just weren't enough options. There wasn't enough competition. If we give fans two options to choose from, they'll have to choose one of us. We have a 50-50 chance to succeed. No, you both have a 100% chance of being a huge embarrassing failure, which is exactly what happened with XFL DOS and USFL 2.0. So they decide that they're going to merge. They decided they would combine the complete lack of talent in both leagues, apply a double coat of polish on this turd, and rebrand it the UFL. But no matter how much polish is applied, this turd is still a turd. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. For years, Friday nights on Fox were dedicated to grown men in their underwear watching other grown men in their underwear hop around a wrestling ring. But recently, Fox decided to get out of the business of simulated combat and into the business of incredibly boring, slow-paced football. Friday night, Fox presented an exciting matchup between the Birmingham Scallions and the Memphis Showgirls. This action-packed night of semi-professional football drew 467,000 viewers, or, as CNN would call it, above-average ratings. 467,000 viewers on network television. If I remember correctly, the WWE was averaging around 2 million viewers on Friday nights when they were laying the smackdown on masculine candy asses. The UFL is barely touching 20% of that number. But KC, the UFL was up against stiff competition from the NFL draft. Yeah, the NFL draft Friday night, which was the second round of the draft, drew over 7 million viewers. 7 million people tuned in to see dudes they have never heard of get selected by NFL teams. Now, they're not willing to watch dudes they've never heard of play football in the UFL, but they will watch dudes they've never heard of be drafted by actual professional football teams. You know, I've watched a few clips of the UFL, and it's not hard to figure out why this league is a failure. To their credit, the UFL tries to promote themselves on social media. And look, the games are close. The games are competitive. But so are my 8-year-old nephew's Little League baseball games. Their games are highly competitive, and they're also highly boring. And that is one of the biggest problems for the UFL. The games are boring, and the reason they're boring is because the dudes on the field, they're just not that good. There is a reason these players did not make it to the NFL. It wasn't because they were afraid of concussions. It wasn't because they were afraid of CTE. They're not professional football players because they're not professional football players. They're not good enough. There's no amount of gimmicks that can cover that up. These secondary football leagues, they are always heavy on the gimmicks in a desperate attempt to cover up the complete lack of talent. I remember Vince McMahon He used to put cameras in the cheerleaders' locker room. The UFL allows viewers at home to listen to the coaches talk and strategize during the game, which is real easy to do since there's no crowds at the game to drown out their voices. The coaches, they don't even need microphones. They can just speak on the field in Birmingham and they can be heard in the People's Republic of California. The UFL is being financially backed by Fox. Their games are also broadcast on ESPN and ABC. They have the support of some of the biggest networks in television, and they still can't make this league a success. Through 5 weeks of the season, UFL is averaging just over 500,000 viewers. Last year, they averaged 12,828 people a game. This year, they're averaging 12,827. Now, I know losing one fan a game doesn't sound like a lot, but when your audience is counted by the dozens, losing one single fan is a very big deal. Years ago, the NFL tried this experiment. They tried spring football in Europe. It was called NFL Europe, served as kind of a minor league system for the league. Kurt Warner, Jake Delhomme, Adam Vinatieri, they all launched their careers in NFL Europe. Although the teams were in Europe, the games were also broadcast here in the United States. I think their Super Bowl was called the World Bowl. Either way, the NFL shut the league down in the late 2000s. Why? Well, for starters, the NFL realized there was no need to waste money on a minor league football league because they already had one, college football. And number two, there was a complete lack of interest. There has never been an appetite for spring football. If the NFL, the league with the golden touch, the league who dominates television, if the NFL can't get spring football to work, then what the hell makes anyone else think they have a chance? Give me your thoughts on this. The UFL continues to fail. The league's averaging their lowest ratings since they launched last year. Will spring football ever work in America? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.